Hi there, it's Denise with Stampin'. It's Ladybug Stampin' here with another video tutorial for you guys today. Okay, this is the third time I've tried to record this video with different things going on that interrupted the filming. So we're going to try it one more time. I'm going to recreate this card right here. This was my original card that I created. And I created this for Father's Day. And I used the Rooted in Nature set, which is a double case stamp set. It's a new stamp set in the annual catalog, and I used these 3 trees. Now for this particular sentiment, I used this stamp set called Another Wonderful Year. There is 2 cases with this as well with great sentiments. And then for this card, I did use the stamp set You Are Wonderful from the Rooted in Nature. I really like that one. And then this one I decided to make a sympathy card, and this is what we're going to recreate today. This is coming from the Flourishing Phrases with Sympathy, and it's got you know, a lovely sentiment that you can put inside as well. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I created the trees. So again, we're going to use these 3 trees right here, and I've got a piece of watercolor paper that is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and I've got my stamps on my blocks, and we're going to be using 4 different greens. And we're going to use Lemon Lime Twist, Pear Pizzazz, Mossy Meadow, and Shaded Spruce. Okay, so the first one, I'm going to take my Lemon Lime Twist, and I'm going to take the Double Trees stamp set, and I'm just going to go across. And it doesn't have to be even. Okay, just as long as you get some stamp on there. Then we're going to take the single stamp, and we're just going to fill in those gaps because I don't want any gaps. Okay, I could have did that one a little bit closer. There we go. Okay, and then you could clean in between each stamp set with your stamp cleaner, but since I'm going light to dark, I'm just going to tap off on my grid paper, as you can see I've done for the other 2 videos. And I'm going to go to the next color, which is Pear Pizzazz. I'm going to ink that up and do the same thing. I'm going to go over just a little bit. Okay. And then take my single stamp and fill those gaps in. Just right there on that side, okay? Because I really don't want any white to show on either side. You know what, doing this card like 4 times, it's almost like I can do it in my sleep now. Now we're going to take Mossy Meadow. And we're going to start with our double stamp again. And I think I'm going to go off just a little bit this way. And these trees are even leaning, but that's okay. Yeah, this is like the 3rd time that I've recorded, and the 4th time since I've made this card. So yeah, I think I'm getting pretty good at it. All right, so we're going to take this again. I'm just going to stamp off on my grid paper, and now we're going to take Shaded Spruce. Aren't these some great tree colors? Well, maybe except for the Lemon Lime Twist, but once I add some other color to it, you'll see. Now, when you get down here, you're going to have to press a little bit harder. I didn't press as hard with this one, so I'm going to have to fill this in with a little bit with the single stamp. Okay. There we go. Just fill that in a little bit. Look, I got green fingers. It's the only green fingers I'm going to ever have. Oh, I've got green all over my hand. That's because I'm trying to rush. Okay, and I'm going to clean those stamps. I'm just going to wipe them off a little bit. I'm going to clean those in a minute. All right, now we're going to take another color, 3 more colors, and we're actually going to go over the trees to make them a little more, seem a little fuller. And I'm going to take Sahara Sand, and I'm going to get some ink down in my my lid, and to do that I'm going to take my fingers back here and my thumbs and just press right down the middle, squeeze right in the middle, and that will put ink down here in your little tray. All right, so we're going to take some ink. Go a little bit light. Don't start out dark, start out light. But now that I've done this a couple of times, I kind of know what I want. Okay, let's see, you're just gonna go and fill those trees up. And basically what I'm doing is trying to make it not look so open. I want them to look more full. Because it's almost like, you know, you're standing down here at the base looking at these trees. And sometimes they you know, so you can't see through them. You can only see the fullness of them, right? Or if you're in a plane looking down, you can't see all these little limbs and stuff. So that's kind of what I was going for. I think of my dad when I make this card because he loved the mountains and the trees and stuff. And I don't know, I think of the Rocky Mountains when I'm watching when I'm working with this. Okay, so just a little bit of ink there. And I'm gonna tap dry. Now I am gonna use a different ink because the color, because the trees are getting darker, so does my watercoloring colors. And this is soft suede. You can see that one's had a lot of ink in it because it's a juicy stamp pad. And I'm gonna add a little bit of water to this because this one is so dark. So I don't want it to be, I want it to be really light as possible. So I'm just gonna kind of go over my trees lightly. I don't want a whole bunch of ink. I just want enough to kind of fill those gaps in. So kind of like they are limbs, right? Because we're using a darker color. So kind of like it is, like they are limbs, filling that in. Okay. You don't want too much water, but you want enough to be able to spread the ink. So you need a happy balance, okay? Just a little. Because I want the colors to be muted. I don't want them to be so bright. Okay, the next color, we'll finish the last two rows of the trees, and it is Early Espresso. And this one, you're gonna have to squeeze. Because I don't have a whole lot of ink on there. Oh, there we go. All right, and so this one, it's got a little bit of shaded spruce in there from earlier. I'm gonna take this one and start out light on the Mossy Meadow. And I will say these darker two colors, especially the shaded spruce, bled a little bit when I added the water, which is great. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. So I was really pleased with that. Because it's the last row. So it kind of gives it the look of, whoops, of like limbs, right? But it's still muted. Whoops, my inks. Okay. And now, on the shaded spruce, we are going to go just a little bit darker, like I said, okay? Just to fill that color in. And like I said, it may bleed a little bit, but that's okay. Just when we clean our lid, we'll just clean around the outside here to make sure we get that color. But it doesn't really matter because it is Early Espresso and it's just gonna go right into, it's not gonna change that color. And this not gonna touch that. You have to squeeze it for it to touch. So it's okay. So you don't have to worry about it too much. I guess I just want to clean it. But last time I forgot. Okay, see how that just kind of, don't do too much, just a little bit, and dab it off. Now, in one of the videos I did use our heat tool. Don't do that. Let it dry naturally, okay? It just works better. And you just take your napkin, see? You can just go around. Don't go around the whole ink because you want to save that ink for later. And it won't hurt the ink pad. Okay. So I would, like I said, I would let it dry naturally and then come back to it. And I'm going to scoot in just a little bit so you guys can see the trees, how they look. All right, now we're going to get out our Stamparatus. And like I said, we're going to use that with Sympathy stamp set again. And I'm also going to use, I created these little corners pieces, these plastic corner pieces for my Stamparatus. I know there's some out there on the market, but I just wanted to do some DIY, so I created my own. And I have a video on how I created these, and I'll link it below. But I'm just going to use this to put it in the corner. And the reason is, sometimes when if you put your cardstock here, it'll, you know, kind of butt up against this, and sometimes you won't get a great, I mean, it does impress it, but it doesn't get a great one. So I wanted to just use this corner to kind of get a greater impression. And because I want it right here, the stamp. And just see, okay, I'm gonna have to take this off because I want it right about here. I want it as close to the edge as I can get it. Because remember, there's a little space around that stamp set. Okay, that's gonna work. Okay, then we're gonna take our Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and we're gonna ink up our stamp. And the reason why I'm using the Stamparatus at this point is because with watercolor paper, it has all these little dents, you know, like indentations, or what do you call it? Dimples. My brother has a dimple, but it was man-made. He had an accident with the bike handle, and it created a dimple in his cheek. He still has it to this day. All right, 20-something years later. But he tells everybody, this is my man-made dimple. And I can't see him without it now because it's been so long. He was young. He was, oh, I don't know, 8, 10 when that happened. So, okay, I'm going to ink that up. I just want a really crisp stamp. I think that'll be good. Alrighty, then I'm going to go ahead and take this off and lift that up, put it to the side for right now, and I'll come back and clean that stamp. All right, now the next thing I did was I just took some of our Nature's Twine. This comes in 4 colors: Crumb Cake, Mint Macaron, Blackberry Bliss, and Grapefruit Grove. All right, so I'm gonna take about 6 inches because I want it to go down here at the bottom. I'm gonna use a little fast fuse, and I know we don't sell this any longer, but I have a bunch of it. I need to use it. So, but you can use you can use tear and tape or just your snail. And I want it to go between those 2 bottom trees. Okay. All right, and then just lay it gently on the thing because it's got that ink on there. And we're gonna lift this up, and we're just gonna make a little knot. We cut it so we don't use as much twine. Okay. I don't want this. Oh, I'm pressing down on my watercolor paper. It's gonna stick. Oh, no. I could have used my silicone mat for that. All right, there we go. And that's how we made that. And then all you're gonna do is adhere it to a piece of a crumb cake cardstock that is cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I kind of used it for my mat. And then my card base was cut at 11 by 4 1/4 and then scored at 5 1/2. And then I adhered it to that using dimensionals. So, okay. And I would do that, but I ran out of Tranquil Tide. I can't believe it. I'm gonna have to order some more. So, or you can use another color green. I just like the Tranquil Tide. It just, I don't know, just kind of went with the card after I muted the colors. So, all right, guys, there are my 4 cards. And just lay that right there using the Rooted in Nature stamp set. So if you guys would like any of the product that you've seen today, visit my online store. I'll have a link down below. And I will have, again, a link to the products and the measurements for this card on my website. All right, thanks, guys, and have a great day. Bye.